Is May 27th, 2025. Um, like I said yesterday, unreal. Unreal. You know, I was in Bob Evans on the 26th. On 62, some guy walks by. Most people would already gave everything up by now. I'm not that stupid that a bunch of con men can scam me out of everything. I'm not that stupid. Go over into Walmart 62, the drug cartels have. Heard they were laughing about this up in Summit County yesterday. Saturday. Hollister, boys. Cackling. Heard that Bill from the Freemasons ran a real big scam here. He had someone go in and tape her washing herself in the shower. Can you imagine that? Imagine taping somebody washing themselves in the shower and photoshopping that in the other room. Then we heard he had somebody go in and drug her up and tell her to say something like that. Could you imagine drugging somebody up and telling them to say something like that? And taping it? And then he ran a contest here of who could come up with the biggest scam to steal her money. And scammed all these people into helping out. And they're cackling about it. Oh, in Walmart 62 yesterday, we heard up in Summit Mall, they were laughing about Bill's scam. That Bill from the Freemason is scam? The cartel's tired of this. And those people telling Bill to take care of Michelle? Who does he think he is? They're not the ones running this. Michelle said she's really nice. She even said how she could take care of herself, where I did a video. The Texas group brags how they dismember people. It was on Google. They tried to buy a baby in Texas for its organs. They were going to kill it and dismember it. They dismember people. It's like, Michelle, get to an FBI office or our place thing. Maybe you can cut a deal with them. She's a young kid. She was what, like 18 when this started? They said, Michelle said that she even said how to take care of herself. Yeah, get to a police station or an FBI office, see if you can cut a deal with them. Know anywhere they're holding people? That's gold to them. It's gold. Hmm? 95% of the people in the witness protection program are criminals. Only 5% are victims. They wipe out their whole past. Give them $5,000 a month living and housing expenses, medical cards, and put them in immunity for life for witnessing against somebody worse. Only 5% are victims. They were threatening a drug war. Those people think they can threaten Michelle? Have Bill threaten Michelle? They don't realize who's running this. And it's not them. They're asking for a drug war. No one's to say anything around her again what we're doing. So nobody finds out. Because it's none of her concern. She's not part of this. Hmm? I was down in Carroll County a couple months ago, actually last summer, seeing some of their sheriffs. Looked at me. In that Karen's will, the one we're supposed to keep an eye on when we all see her out, there's a quarter from a judge. Heard there's a there's police surveillance with a quarter of a group of Freemasons caught with the human traffickers under police surveillance with a court order. Oh boy, I can't wait to look her up. FBI informant. They have Bill and his group running with the human traffickers. See, everybody keeps forgetting the FBI case. See, these people are so dumb. You know, there's an old saying. You know how you tell when people are lying? They open their mouth. You need to start looking at these people, and every time they say something, look at them and say, nope, not falling for it. Nope. Nope, not falling for it. Okay. Last night, I heard that idiot, the one that was part of the big bill from the Freemason scam, and they're trying to fool the FBI, outside talking with a woman. Well, I sent one of my neighbors because he's been trying to scam all my neighbors because he thinks they're all stupid. Let's see. HIPAA violations. A doctor talks to you about you without your consent. They go to jail 10 years. They don't fix it in a timely manner. It's $1.5 million fine. They were outside talking. I was looking at the law she sent because I sent it to one neighbor and apparently they forwarded them. Got a copy of my phone. That any doctor tries to say anything about her, they'd be instantly arrested. HIPAA and Privacy Act. 10 years. Okay? And it says right here, doctors can never tape you unaware. And it looks like in the law, the only thing legal is hitting like record on your phone while you're talking to someone. I know. So, then it says a doctor cannot treat you unless you sign for consent of treatment. Otherwise, it's medical malpractice, negligence, and assault, battery. And they're trying to act like, yeah. And I guess they talked to some police, and they said the only thing legal is while you're talking to someone to hit record on your phone. That's the only thing legal. Basically. I know. So, where the idiot lying people with their stupid scams, we had special permission from the chief of police to break in other people's homes. Is it legal to break in and enter somebody else's home? No, it's illegal. So where you look at them and say, no, I don't think so. Set up button cameras watching them unaware. That's cyber stalking. A felony invasion of privacy and voyeurism. It lists you a sex offender. And to break in and do things to people. Like drug beat rape. I don't think so. That's human trafficking, racketeering. Federal crimes. So when they try to tell you something like that, why do you look at them and say, no, I don't think so. I'm not that stupid. Just like that idiot saying, the FBI turned her over to us and we can do whatever we want to her and they don't care. Now, does the FBI tell you can drug beat, rape somebody, try to kill them, bust their head in? Try to shoot them driving? Torture them? No, they put you in jail for it. They didn't give you permission for that. Say, I don't think so. Nope, not falling for that one either. Where I was talking to my son Danny the other day, how this is a big scam. And he's like, of course it's a big scam. They can't do any of it. I said, my thing is, name a dirty doctor they're supposed to use to drug me up, where I had bruises, throwing up, and almost passing out. First and last name. That's $1 million lawsuit. There's assault and battery, assault with a deadly weapon, attempt to murder. There's a retirement plan here. See what I mean? You need to start looking at these people and tell them, you're not fooling me. You can't do any of that. See, they've been using your stupidity. Like those kids were laughing. That bill from the Freemasons scammed everybody into helping out. Part of the scammers in my old apartment. The ones where the FBI said they were so dumb. You wouldn't believe how dumb these people are. She calls FBI a hotline for help. They walk into an FBI office and confess they were illegally monitoring her. It's a felony invasion of privacy, cyberstalking, and voyeurism. Like 7 to 15 years. Do you know why you weren't arrested? You told them you had sodium pentothal reports. Sodium pentothal is a lethal outlaw drug that shuts down your airway. And you were saying you were using drugs that are illegal in this country. And that shuts down your airway on victims, and you were drugging them to get the truth out of them. Where the hell did you get the drug? You can't go around drugging people up. They wanted your drug connections. Where, like that idiot in my old apartment, we found out that FBI has still been involved the whole time. We thought they left and turned it over to us. It's because you're a dumbass. You thought they could scam you. Scammed the FBI. These aren't local people on a bar stool in the bar. These aren't local people on a corner. This is the federal government. And you walked into a Federal Bureau of Investigators thinking you could scam them? Are you fucking kidding me? How dumb were they to come in and tell us they were illegally monitoring her on their own? And they knew she called FBI. And trust me, nobody ever fell for the dirty doctor scam, tape you unaware, confessing your crimes, and sat on it till Dave wanted a divorce. For one thing, it's illegal for a doctor to tape you unaware. HIPAA and Privacy Act. It's a 10-year sentence. It's not admissible because of the Act of Privacy and HIPAA. They go to jail for it. Your medical records are your own. They're not allowed to discuss anything they see you for, what they treated you for, what you said to them. But if they know somebody's being hurt, they have to give a limited report to the police, or they go to jail as an accessory and lose their license forever. And so think of a doctor being it with your husband and a cult saying we're trying to kill her. And he's part of a cover-up. And you think they're stupid. Like they said it, nobody fell for that. And it sounded mechanical. We knew it was all them and not you. And they altered everything. And the weird with yourself, we knew it was photoshopped of washing yourself in the shower. And when they photoshopped everything. But if they were going to be that dumb to try this with us, we told Agent John to go tell on her to that other church before he talked to her. And to act as dumb as these people. That's why he was up there telling people he didn't care I was being drugged, being raped. A federal cop. Because someone called me a faker 15 years ago. And it was a medication error. He was playing them. Okay? Like my money, Agent John. Bill from the Freemason scam needs to stop. We're looking at a drug war now. Maybe give me my money. Look at everybody saying she's an FBI informant. No one touches her. Maybe they'll calm down. The longer the scam goes on, the angrier they're going to become. Do you understand? It's already ruined. It's already all out there. Huh? And they don't stop. And then it's so illegal. How would they even present that to a prosecutor's office? It's illegal to be in somebody's home, no matter what, but protected like cases with statements. Police and agencies only. No special money permission. There's no such thing. Huh? Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements and a court order. Without a conflict of interest, there's nothing else. Police, prosecutor's office, and criminal attorney. Even the FBI would go to jail. Or they try to say, oh, the police up there were part of it too. I went up and asked them. They knew nothing. There's police abuse attorneys. That'll make me a millionaire too. They're in there drug beating, raping women. Because like Walter said from the prosecutor's office, somebody was hurting you. Even though people didn't think of a rapist, you had all the signs being treated by a doctor for being drug beat raped. Somebody was hurting you, Karen. You want to say you were hurting me? I can sue you. I have medical proof. Okay? And HIPAA violations. Doctors are never allowed to tape you unaware. Nope. They go to jail for it, 10 years, right on it. They do not fix disclosing anything that you said to them within a timely manner. It's $1.5 million fine. They can never talk about you. They can not look anybody up that is not one of their patients without a signed consent and a signed release from the place they got it. Otherwise, it's stealing documents. That's another federal crime. Felony invasion of privacy. You ever see those police on the news that they get arrested and they lose their badge for using their laptop to look somebody up not in a case, and they find out and they go to jail? That's a stupid reason for a police officer to go to jail, for looking somebody up. But they're not allowed to, because you have a right to privacy. Huh? They can't even look you up unless you're part of a case. Get it? Neither can a doctor. They're not a signed doctor of yours. You didn't sign a release for them to pull it. You didn't sign a release for them to release it. It's stealing documents. It's a federal crime. So think about that. Nobody fell for your scam. They were scamming them back. They thought they left. They never went anywhere. You know what they wanted? You know what they wanted? Where these people ran around in 18, we'll ruin your reputation so you can't testify against us. They never wanted me to testify against you. They wanted that court order. They wanted the court order for protected custody for an FBI informant for threat and attempt to life, with statements and a judge's order to tape my... they wanted to bug my phone, my car, my house, and the police to document it every day. And then they have you under police surveillance with a court order. Like they said, they don't even need me, because the police taped it with a court order. What did they want? The court order. Up in Akron over a year ago, it was on the news, the despicable act of some law enforcement. Feeding women and children back to drug dealers so they can get the drug dealers. It should never happen, but it's happening. That's what they did. They fed me back. Somebody said in 18 they thought the only way into the drug cartel was sacrificing me. I like my money. It stops Bill's scam. Now I want you to think about this. It's illegal for a doctor to tape you unaware, okay? Ohio is a one-person consent of recording. You cannot set up button cameras. You can't set up listening devices in people's home. That is stalking, cyber stalking, felony invasion of privacy. But if you sit and talk to someone, it is very legal to hit record on your phone. Very legal. It's about the only thing. Like that idiot outside. They talked to the police. They said the only thing basically legal is hitting record on your phone when you're talking to someone. There's nothing else. And where you give people permission on a recording to tape them, you really have nothing to say. Now think of how stupid their scams are. These people are so dumb. They said they had a neuropsychiatrist they hired on their own to break in, and the way he works, he drugs people up and tells them say stuff and then tries to get stuff out of them. You can't hire some crazy doctor to break in some lady's home and stab her with a date rape drug or lace a drink, then tell her to say a bunch of stupid stuff and try to get stuff out of her and tape it. Oh God, that's assault with a deadly weapon, kidnapping, drug trafficking charges, racketeering. It's insane. And I had never heard of a neuropsychiatrist. I looked it up. These people really need to learn to use Google. If you're going to lie, at least make it a little more believable. Neuropsychiatrists, I Googled it. They study people and how people with head injuries and seizures, how to deal with brain injuries. They help people learn to cope. The ones that ask you criminal questions are forensic psychiatrists. Google. Invest. Okay. I had a dog bite attorney. Because I got bit by, I had dropped off a client, clocked out, went home and got Carl, went up and went through my bag. I touched my scrubs. I still had her eyeglasses. I'm like, oh crap, I still got her glasses. Do you care if I go by and put them on the front porch? No, I don't care. So I'm like, wait here, and I go to walk up, and she lets that mean dog of hers out, and it bit the hell out of me. Several times. It was horrifying. See, that's where when I called an attorney, they said, well, you got proof of injuries. But that doesn't, until you have proof of who did it. Did you do a police report? I said I emailed them. I need that email. And do you have to prove it was their dog? I said, well, I got a witness that seen the whole thing. Another person for a neighbor seen me outside right after that, and then within a few minutes I'm at the hospital. I said, and I can even go further than that. I still have the coat where the dog bit me, and it bit through the jacket, and it still has the dog's DNA on it, where it latched onto my arm and won't let go. I had a slam dunker. See, they said, you can't just say you have an injury without all the others. You have to have the police report. You have to have the hospital report. You have to have a witness. And you have to prove it was them or their dog. Or you have nothing. So that's where we want to look at the scam of Melissa and her mean jokes. See, she didn't make up her mean jokes until the FBI case started. Like they were saying a month ago. In Walmart, she was never questioned or prosecuted about those grandkids because of mean jokes. Because she's some kind of FBI informant, and the police taped those kids saying they were lying years ago. I know they did. That's why I was never questioned. They were already there. For Melissa, so stupid, she made everything up when you were fishing with Dave. She's actually that stupid. She didn't check where you were. Like that FBI right after Thanksgiving of 18. Why are they having those kids make that shit up? Oh, they're just trying to scare her out of the house. That's all. We interviewed her whole family. They all spoke highly of her. How many times did Starr County Sheriff, Maslin Police, other police departments, that they caught them saying they were lying on Thanksgiving of 18? Officer John, January 12th, 22, stopped men at the door. January 12th, 22, 4:55 p.m. Walgreens, North Main. While those kids got taped stating they made everything up. Where Flora told them October 23rd, 2019, they were games of pretend they made up on Thanksgiving 18 illegally bugged house during an FBI case. That they wanted the house for Papa and his new girlfriend. Then later on to Flora, they made everything up. That's why Flora, October 23rd, 2019, was laughing about it being mean games of pretend. Laughing and giggling. That's why I was never questioned. They just showed up. And since these people sold a login and people already knew, they just wanted people to let you know. They already got it. That's why it's never questioned. So if you're going to make up a mean jokes on somebody, behind somebody's back, and they don't even know it, where's your proof of it? Where's the emergency report? Where's the police report? Where is the police interviewing me? Where is the prosecutor's report? Where's the jury trial judge? There's nothing. Why is there nothing? Because it was mean jokes. There was nothing but people laughing behind my back in front of the police and the FBI. I was in Carrollton. They were trying to pull the scam on Matt and Melissa's kid. They called the police. They looked her up. She's documenting mean jokes. Where the police have told you they're documenting mean jokes, they are. She made up lies and told her kids to lie in front of the police and the FBI during an FBI case. And the kids stating on Thanksgiving of 18, they made everything up. They were games of pretend, and they wanted Papa and his new girlfriend to get the house. Laughing in the basement. That's why nothing ever happened. Like they said, she's some kind of FBI informant. The police taped those grandkids of hers saying they were lying years ago. Stark County Sheriff's called some guy named Kurt Swall for falling for her scam in May of 21 because they taped them on Thanksgiving of 18 and saying they were lying and they were selling it. A month ago, I was in Alliance, and they released the tape of those kids saying they were lying and laughing in the basement. People were like, none of this is funny. I know it's not. Then I want you to think where that idiot Bill from the Freemasons, where those kids were laughing, that he had someone go in and drug me up and tell me to say that weirdo stuff. I heard. Do you know how devastating it is as a victim that you never seen her talk to anybody and that drug cartel dealers were playing with you like this? You take a drink out of a drink and the room go dizzy and black. Wake up with injection marks. Orange, lemon, grapefruit, ice bruises all over you. Throwing up, heart racing, almost passing out. In a severe swollen personal area till your personal area is pushed open and down. And you're blaming the dirty well water you're showering in, thinking of giving you cancer. Go to the doctor for those injuries. Tell them you think it's the dirty well water. They're giving you pills and creams for a personal infection. Iron pills that think you're coming anemic and you're being raped and drugged, and that's why you're throwing up and almost passing out? And that animal is having people play with you like that? And then drugged up and told to say stuff, and you never seen her talk to anybody? Drug dealers playing with you like that. I used to vomit. I used to run for the bathroom and vomit or have instant diarrhea. Now it just makes me mad. Now, where the drugs and told to say it, all you have in a stocking tape of drugs and told to say it. Like my kid's pediatrician is still there. Believe it or not, he's still practicing. He's still practicing. I went in there in 2001, 2002. He told me, he said, Karen, I have never had to worry one time about you abusing your children. Them being mistreated or harmed by you. Never had to worry about that. Or them being neglected. But you have giant bruises. You come in and you got bruises all over you at times. The only one I worry about in that household is you. Because every time Dave had a bad day, he beat the hell out of me. And then he'd be sorry and good to me for years. And the next time he had a bad day, he beat the hell out of me. See, there was no reported of abuse, no accusation, nothing reported or suspicious. Think about that. There's nothing to back the drug and told her saying it. So where would you get that? You can't just drug somebody up and tell them to say something stupid, and then there's no foundation behind it. No medical proof. You have to have medical proof of what the person's saying. You have to have documented police reports, Child Protective Services reports. There's nothing. But a drug's and told to say it. You have nothing. And a stocking tape. Like they said, the only thing they have is where they drugged her up and told her to say it before in stocking tapes. And they photoshopped washing herself in the shower in another room in stocking tapes. That's all they have. They don't have anything else. See, you have to have medical proof of report of injuries and proven injuries to prove it. And there's not. See, these people are dumb. You say somebody was abusing somebody? Well, where's the proof of the abuse? Not where you drug somebody up and told them to say that. Where's the actual medical proof of it? Where's the police reports? Where's anything reported of it? There's not. Why is there not? Because it never happened. But there is medical reports of people, medical reports of me having all the signs of being drugged, being raped. There's an FBI investigation. Then they were doing it in front of the FBI and police. And they caught him. And them admitting they drugged me and told me to say it before years ago. See what I mean? How dumb these people are? You have to have proof of your accusations. You can't just roofie somebody and tell them to say something stupid. And Dave told Danny, April 16, 23, that he hired Pete on his own. And it was some guy. The investigators act like he's a drug dealer. See, when I talked to that agent, I had told him someone told on me before he calls me a liar. I tell him about the guy that threatened to knife me at Johnny Go. He calls me a liar. I tell him he tried to kidnap me before. He calls me a liar. Then he's like, oh, come on now. If a church person seen him, they wouldn't verify. That's why I didn't tell him about Terry Coberly. He said, I met with that family in my office and all those church people. I know they're trying to kill you. And he said, strangers lie. I'm faking you were sick. It's like, look, I really was sick. You liar was there. He came right by the bench, start screaming at me. He's going to put me in jail, going to arrest me. It's like, either say you're lying or I'll put you in jail. It's like, fine, whatever. Now, I want you to say you're faking you were sick before. Well, that's ridiculous. I almost died of medical malpractice and medication errors. And I said I really was sick before. And then how he met with that family in his office that her father murdered her kid in vehicular homicide. That I wasn't even there. And all those church people, I know they're trying to kill you. And they said strangers lie. Conspiracy to commit murder is a federal crime. And you need to realize what you've done. I don't blame him for trying to kill you. He actually said that. Like an investigator said, I almost followed my jury. I actually said it. You either say it or I'll leave you there, but they're trying to kill me. So they've tried to kill me. So say it or I'll leave you there. Please don't let me kill me. They say it or I'll leave you there. Fine, whatever. Don't let me kill me. Give me a real reason why the FBI should help you. Well, they're going to try to kill me. So they've tried to kill me. So the other one yells out that some guy named Pete on his own. Dave hired on his own. They said he's a local drug dealer. Drug cartel. Where Officer Mark said it's document verified I was framed before and it was a drug cartel. You've seen him. He's a drug cartel. Okay? He said we could use Pete's tape or wear it with yourself. The shower scene in the other room. I said, what are you talking about? Talk about somebody I don't even know who they are. And I said, what are you talking about? And it's Photoshopped. He sounds like a Looney Tune to me. He says something else about Pete. Now I've never met him. He's one of my black and blue marks. I said, what are you talking about? He's laughing. Well, I bet you're going to say you don't know anything about this doctor, da-da-da-da-da. Well, I had some other lady use my insurance. The FBI found out it was Dave's girlfriend from before me. Had him marry me to get a job at my dad's factory. And so she'd have free insurance and he could give her extra money because he was only making $80 a week working for John Cowgill. And he could make $1,000 working for my dad or more. And that's why a heavyset white woman was showing up in 9 months at the factory from our marriage. Rumors of him cheating on me. It was him and her scamming me. And that's why half my medical records are hers. It's documented by the police and FBI. It was Dave's girlfriend from before me. Ran up all those medical bills. He confessed to an agent. Okay? Got stuck with about $50,000 to $100,000 worth of copays over 15 years. Well, I thought it was one of hers. It's a scam. I said, what are you talking about? Stop, she don't know. Well, like the police said, we all know none of Karen's doctors could go talk to Will. They'd get arrested. It's illegal. They can't have to say a word about you. HIPAA and Privacy Act. You go to jail. See, people act stupid with all this. No, but they can't do any of this. They open their mouth, they go to jail. It's not one of my doctors. My doctors aren't trying to kill me for Dave's girlfriend. And then he's like, give me a real reason. Well, I tell my brother-in-law, Craig, how he worked for the government under Dick Cheney. Okay? And he said, have you talked to any law enforcement about threats on your life? And I said, the only 2 officers I talked to, August 8 of 18, light and security system, midnight, came out and said, looked like an alien or angry spirit. Told me to buy a dog and let a dog camera it. You're kidding. I said, no. Matter of fact, I've never even had my neighbors in my home. I've only had family and repair guys. Is that what's going on? Do you know if Dave's cheating? I said, I never caught him. He starts laughing with the other guy. She said she never caught him. Dave verified that December 9th, 18. Never caught him with anybody. And then he said, well, I could take you somewhere and leave you with no money. I have no money to start. He said, well, if you agree to get information on Dave and the churches, I can open an informant program. Comes with $5,000 a month. I said, I can do that. He said, I'm opening an account today. Do you know when you come down and pick up the card? I never got down there. He said, you'll have a life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally stated, dated against you again. And only for you would we do this for. We'll always put it back as if it never happened. You can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case. You have that money to live on. Admit to no wrongdoing, and I'll take care of everything in the end. But if you try to tell someone, I'll tell people you're crazy, the FBI won't help you. Oh, my friend from the prosecutor's office laughed till he cried. You can't tell people they can't help you, and he can't tell you can't say anything. It's a freedom of speech. No man can tell you can't say anything but a judge in a jury trial. He is only a higher police officer. He doesn't even have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. He's only bullying you. I said, well, I confessed he told me. He was seen by hundreds telling on me. He can't tell you, but he can tell whoever you want. He can't even ask you to stay quiet. Police know that. They can't go along with him. So freedom of speech, it takes a judge. in a jury trial. And no judge could sign that court order. Department of Justice or state to put him in jail. It's illegal for him to even tell you can't say anything. He was only bullying you. You can't tell people you can't help you. 14th Amendment. Can't withhold protection. You can't bully you into false statements either. You can't do any of it. The only thing legally did on the whole thing, on a phone call, was list you informant with money and immunity. Can't withhold it, can't misdirect it, can't make up stipulations, no judge can sign it. It's guidelines. It's for working the case, risking your life to get them information. They owe you for the rest of your life. Karen, you don't realize you're in one of the many witness protection programs. Informants are different. You stay yourself, you feed them information. And until the FBI puts you in another witness protection program, you'll stay informant for life, and immunity for life, and you get the money for life. And you have to stay in a witness protection program the rest of your life. These people try to kill you, and they can wait and try to kill you again. It'd be illegal in the Department of Justice to put him in jail. He cannot withhold your money, and he cannot misdirect it. He can't make up his own rules. And no one can sign that. Talk to a criminal attorney, too. Police, prosecutor's office, same thing. No man can tell you can't say anything but a judge in a jury trial. You have a freedom of speech. Then he's already told, and then that makes it stupid. He was to act stupid. Now I like my money. Stop this craziness. You know, if you give me my money, Bill from the Freemason scam of everybody trying to steal my money from me, and they can't. The cartel's tired of it. They've mentioned it several places. They're tired of it. They're threatening a drug war. They're tired of Bill and his scam. Thousands of their people have went to jail. Do you know how many thousands of people were taken and they only got hundreds back? People died because of that idiot scam. He needs to be held accountable for every person that was taken and every injury that happened to me. FBI, Agent John, I like my money. We all know you're just scamming them, that I can't have it. I like my money. And you need to tell these people to leave your little informant alone. She's in immunity for the rest of her life for working this case. I'd like my money and go arrest Bill. You may stop a drug war. Do you know what happens in drug wars? Do you know what happens in drug wars? I lived in Buffalo in the 70s. I know what happens in drug wars. Drive-by shootings is the least of your worries. They go in businesses and shoot them up. They blow up places and they burn them down. You do not want a drug war. Do you know how much Florida human traffickers are here in Ohio since 18? How many Texas are here? We are overloaded and overrun with that cartel here. Those two cartels invaded our state and set up in here because of Bill's scam. We don't need innocent bystanders dying because some idiot's trying to get in the drug cartel. And now the drug cartel is threatening a drug war. Because they're tired of him. His scam was, like girls said, like 2 weeks ago. In Maslin, in the AAA, what are these people doing? When that family said they didn't know anything about the shower scene in the other room, we knew they photoshopped everything. Well, they had already confessed in 21. They've confessed in 18. They were drugging me and telling me to say stuff before, and it was them. They photoshopped all their lies in 18. And then in 21, they even confessed in 18 it wasn't my doctor and he worked for the Florida drug cartel. And that he had never met me in person. This scam was ruined from the beginning. And then it's so laws, they're not even gray laws that you can even passable. Where if it's 35, you go 37 or 38 and the cop just lets you go because it's only 3 miles. Huh? These are laws that are black and white that can never be broken. They're constitutional rights. And they're evil, evil crimes. If you give me my money, my informant money, arrest Bill. You may stop a drug war from starting. We do not need a drug war here in Ohio. Do you understand? And these people need to stop acting stupid that they can steal by somebody drugging somebody up and telling them to say something stupid, and then there's nothing to back it and prove it. Or Melissa's mean games of pretend. There's no hospital report, no police report, no prosecutor's office, no trial, because cops caught her saying she was lying, and have the kids say they're lying for the girlfriend or papa to get a house, and to scare grandma out of it. And they're documenting mean jokes, and there's no proof of the mean jokes except for an FBI case, them saying they were mean jokes. But to actually say the mean jokes happened, there's no proof of them. There's no hospital reports. There's no police reports. There's no interrogation. Why? Because cops taped them saying they were lying. There was no reason to. Think about that. There was no reason to be questioned. No reason for prosecution, because they taped them saying they were lying during an FBI case. Like they said, Melissa could go to jail for this in 18. Well, why don't we just write it up that she was showing off, her and the kids showing off for the girlfriend? We would hate to put her in jail. Her kids are little for showing off for that girlfriend of his. Her kids could even go to juvie. I know that. Or Precious Dixie giving me permission to tape her. You give somebody permission to tape you with their cell phone, you have nothing to say. And you're on tape saying, yes, you have my permission to tape me. You had my permission to tape me before. Of knowing Melissa's mean games of pretend, and they're documenting mean games of pretend by the police. And day breaking of the gunshot night. Like I said, the laws of surveillance in Ohio, you can never set up button cameras, listening devices. If it is a one-party state law that you can hit, like your cell phone, and tape a conversation, as long as you've not done anything to anybody, just hit record. You can tape them. You give somebody their permission to tape them, you have nothing to say ever. You have nothing to say anyways. Because you're allowed to hit record while you're talking to somebody. Yeah, but you can't leave your phone there recording. Because then that's stalking. But if you're just sitting there talking to someone, you can hit record it. Doctors can never record you without your knowledge or consent. That is a federal crime. HIPAA and Privacy Act, felony invasion of privacy. But if you're just a regular Joe Schmo, you can hit record while you're talking to someone. Very illegal. Very illegal. It's about the only thing. I'm going to upload this. So this bill from the Freemason scam that's going to start a drug war. Officer John, Officer Mark, go to Agent John. Tell him to give me my money. And stop playing with the dumb people. And stop scamming him. He's going to start a drug war. Go arrest Bill from the Freemasons. It may cut it off. We don't need innocent people to die.